Hello, my name is Carmen and I come from Jugendkulturarbeit in Oldenburg, Germany. During the project Learning from the Past, we focused mostly on a story about Weiße Rose. This is a newspaper that was created by students during the Second World War. And this story is especially important to us because our youth center is located on a street called Weiße Rose. So the story about Weiße Rose is something that an average German student learns in school. But these beautiful theater enthusiasts that were a part of a project were able to reflect a bit deeper. They reflected how this story influenced them. And they come up with two things that I think that are very important. First of all, is that they became aware that there are still many forms of a bit of racism, inequality, or social exclusion present in their lives. Either they are the victim or they are the ones who are doing it. So they became aware of that still exists in nowadays. And they were kind of determined to change that, or at least to be aware of and to practice some changes in their lives. And the second thing that I found very important was that they realized that those kids in the Second World War who were writing this beautiful newspaper became aware that they are the ones who also carry certain civic responsibility to change the world to better. Yet the kids and young people nowadays don't do that. So the participants of the workshops we created realized that there are plenty of topics they can still work on. They can think about what they can contribute to the world, to the culture, and to the community they live in, so that the world they live in is not just nice, but it's better for the generations that come after them. And I think this was very huge and very big for them. So yeah, Learning from the Past was really a nice project.
Hi, my name is Vesna and I come from Slovenia, town Trbovlje, from the organization Institute for Youth and Sports Trbovlje. We were part of the project Learning from the Past, and through this project we learned about our cultural heritage and history, especially the period between the First World War I and the World War II. So we, in the project, we explored the different good stories and positive stories that happened in our country. And one of the stories was actually a local story of Trbovski Slavček, so a choir called the Nightingales of Trbovlje. With a young group of young people, we explored this story and learned many interesting things that correlated in today's times. The young people discovered that music to young people then meant the same as it does to them now. It gives them hope and it inspires them and empowers them. However, the situations were different, the times were different. Back then, Trbovlje was a miner's town, and the young people really didn't have many things that they can relate to, or that give them hope to open to new experiences. So through this story, we explored it in an artistic output. The first one, we wanted to create a movie. However, because of COVID-19, everything came to a halt, and we had to adapt our artistic response in that way that we created online workshops that were about intuitive drawing. So we used the tool of intuitive drawing to with music to give it an expression, artistic expression of the drawings through music back then and to the music that we listen to today.
Hello, I'm David Evans and I work for an organisation called MyGen here in Lancaster in the UK. And we focus on intergenerational learning, younger people and older people learning from each other. It was a privilege to be involved in the Learning from the Past project, not least because young people discovered a whole hidden history of brave individuals and groups who actively resisted oppressive regimes such as the fascist movement and the Nazi Party throughout the earlier part of the 20th century and promoted peace, when to do so could, and often did, cost them their lives. And during the process of research, I could see young people realising that to challenge or question what leaders and politicians do is a vitally important lesson to learn from the past. The stories as presented on the project map are inspiring, but equally inspiring is the many artistic interpretations that the young people came up with to illustrate these stories, using a broad variety of media. I helped make some of the videos, and they really brought home to me just how much thought and effort the young people put into it. I hope that lots of people of all ages will have a look at the Learning from the Past website, read the stories, look at the artistic interpretations and enjoy watching the videos. It's a project which has brought young people, youth groups, museums, archives, researchers and academics together to celebrate peace activism. We all need to learn from the past to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes.
Hi, I'm Marzena Ples. I represent Youth Development and Integration Association STRIM, which is based in Kraków in Poland. And in this project I had this privilege to coordinate our activities in Kraków. What was the impact of the project to our organization? I think, well, to be honest, it was the first project related to cultural heritage project for us. We've never done something like this before, so it was like a new chapter on our work with young people. What we've learned. I was mainly responsible for this first output, which is the map. So I was working with volunteers on the research of hidden, not known stories of brave people between wars period. And what we all realized, what we reflected on, is that there are so many things that we take for granted today, which we can lose tomorrow, because even though it's 2021 now, we still have to fight for our rights, and some of our rights are taken away from us every day. So I think that was the main point. We had so much fun. What I really loved about this project, it was this innovative methodology. It was first time for us that we could go to museums, archives, discover stories, and then based on them write stories and put them on the map. And then young people inspired by those stories could create their own piece of arts. We had many workshops that also supported their critical thinking, which I think these days we really need to support this critical thinking. What else we learned is this relevance of events which happened 100 years ago to what's happening now. It was very inspiring, and I think in the future we really want to continue heritage projects in Kraków, because I think there's so much more to discover and so much more to share and learn. Thank you.